Picture this. You're out for the ultimate scenic drive. You're cruising along this winding mountain road, but you aren't just driving through the peaks, you are literally driving above the clouds. You can feel the crisp air, the panoramic views just go on forever, and you're probably thinking, where on earth is Japan's most beautiful sky road? Well, that is exactly the question we're going to answer today.
Welcome to The Explainer. I am honestly so excited to share this one with you. Today, we're taking a virtual road trip along the Venus Line. Now, if you haven't heard of it, this is a spectacular, iconic route in Nagano Prefecture that winds its way through the sky at elevations pushing 2,000 meters above sea level. It is widely considered one of Japan's absolute premier driving, motorcycling, and cycling routes, and we're going to explore exactly why it's so incredibly special.
Okay, let's dive into this and map out our virtual road trip itinerary from south to north. First up, an invitation to the Sky Road. Second, Kirigamine human-nature harmony. Third, the grand panorama from Kurumayama. Fourth, a sky plateau born of lava. And finally, seasonal views and future responsibility. Buckle up, let's hit the road.
Section 1. Invitation to the Sky Road. Tateshina's lush forests and the origin of a goddess. 70, as in 70 kilometers long. That is an enormous stretch of road. Our journey kicks off in the Tateshina Highlands, which is this lush, forested gateway to the magnificent route. Back in the Showa era, when tourism development was really starting to boom here, folks looked at these deep forests and the sweeping, almost European Alps-like scenery, and they were so blown away they decided to name the route after the Roman goddess of beauty and love, Venus. And honestly, the name is absolutely fitting for this 70-kilometer lifeline. Because this isn't just a quick detour to a lookout point. It's this monumental winding ribbon that threads together completely diverse landscapes. It connects deep alpine forests, the ancient Yatsugatake wetlands, and some beautifully serene man-made Showa-era lakes like Lake Shirakawa and Goddess Lake.
Moving on to Section 2, Kirigamine human-nature harmony. The secret behind the sweeping grasslands. So as we drive further north along the Venus Line, the dense forests suddenly just vanish and the landscape completely opens up. You're suddenly looking at these expansive, alpine-like meadows where the wind just sweeps uninterrupted across the rolling hills. Now, when you gaze out at these vast plains, you'd probably assume they're a purely natural phenomenon, right? But here is the plot twist. These meadows are actually man-made. Yeah, they're maintained by a centuries-old tradition called Yamayaki, which translates to controlled mountain burning. So the crucial point here is, without this annual burning by the local people, these beautiful rolling grasslands would completely revert back to thick forest in just a matter of decades. And this beautifully highlights the sensory payout of all that careful human intervention, a golden carpet of Nikokasuge, or yellow alpine lilies. Thanks to the Yamayaki clearing out the dense brush, hundreds of unique plant species actually get the sunlight they need to thrive here. Come summer, these hills absolutely explode with these brilliant yellow blooms. It's crazy to think that without those traditional fires, this stunning golden carpet would literally be permanently swallowed up by the shade of the forest. It is just a breathtaking collaboration between humans and nature. Section 3, Grand Panorama from Kurumayama, standing on top of the sky at 1,925 meters.
All right, let's take our virtual car even higher up the route to Kurumayama. Now, the best part about this is you don't even have to be a seasoned mountaineer to reach the summit. There's a scenic lift that drops you right at the top. And when you step off, you are greeted by an absolute titan of a view. We're talking a jaw-dropping 360-degree panorama of Japan's most iconic peaks. You can spot Mount Fuji, the northern, central, and southern Alps, and the rugged Yatsugatake mountains. There's practically nothing blocking your view in any direction. This is exactly why the drivers and cyclists who travel this section of the road tell you it truly feels like you are running right on the clouds.
Section 4, Sky Plateau born of lava, Utsukushigahara's ancient geological origins. So, as we reach our final high-altitude destination, Utsukushigahara, hovering near 2,000 meters, the landscape completely changes all over again. Picture the peaceful, rhythmic sound of cowbells from grazing cattle echoing through the crisp air. But wait, why is the ground at the summit of a mountain so surprisingly flat and wide open? Well, if we rewind about 2 million years ago, massive volcanic eruptions spewed out a vast, rugged lava plateau. Over countless centuries, relentless wind and rain slowly eroded that harsh volcanic rock into the gentle, flat plateau we see today.
It wasn't until the Showa era that tourism really took off, and the route officially got the name Venus Line. And this brilliantly illustrates the dramatic geological origin story of this incredibly unique flat terrain. Topping out at the Ugato Peak at an astonishing 2,034 meters, it is quite literally a masterpiece, carved by ancient volcanoes and time.
Finally, Section 5, Seasonal Views and Future Responsibility, a timeless landscape that needs our protection. We've talked a whole lot about the geography, but the Venus Line is a living, breathing canvas that completely transforms its character across all 4 seasons. Take spring, for example. It brings this amazing explosion of fresh greenery and snow melt. You can really feel the sheer energy of this place as the heavy, freezing winter snow finally starts to recede. Tiny, resilient alpine plants start poking through the thawing earth, the forests just burst with vibrant, glowing new leaves, and the valleys echo with the joyful songs of returning wild birds. It's an absolute celebration of new life. Then comes summer, bringing cool breezes and brilliant flowers. Because the average temperature way up here is significantly lower than down in the plains, the Venus Line becomes the ultimate escape from the stifling, humid city heat. It's the kind of drive where you just roll your windows all the way down, feel that crisp highland breeze on your face, and take in the vibrant purples, whites, and yellows of the high alpine blooms scattered all across the meadows. Autumn ushers in golden larches and crisp mountain air. The visual transformation here is simply breathtaking. The karamatsu, those are Japanese larch trees, they turn this brilliant, fiery gold. And when you mix that with the deep, saturated reds of the mountain maples and birch trees, the entire landscape looks like a meticulously painted masterpiece, set against a crystal-clear, deep blue autumn sky. And finally, winter wraps the plateau in pure white rime ice beneath the Milky Way. While some parts of the road do actually close due to snow and freezing conditions, the profound silence that falls over the highlands is pure magic. Because of the high altitude and incredibly low humidity, the winter stargazing conditions up here are just unparalleled. You can look up into the freezing night sky and see Orion, Sirius, and the Milky Way with a clarity that will make you feel like you're floating deep in space. But hey, with all this breathtaking beauty comes a really deep responsibility. There are absolutely essential rules for any visitor to ensure this environment thrives. Number 1, stay strictly on designated paths so you don't trample the fragile vegetation. 2, do not take any plants home with you. 3, leave no trace, take all your trash back down with you. And 4, respect the quiet of the natural environment. Remember, this delicate balance of nature, just like those man-made meadows we talked about earlier, only survives because of careful human stewardship. I think this quote perfectly captures the core narrative of our explainer today. The landscapes we casually gaze upon are built on the heart of protection passed down by many people. You see, the Venus Line isn't just a scenic drive or a ribbon of asphalt. It is a living testament to how mindful human intervention and continuous care can sustain natural wonders. Every incredible view we get to enjoy today is a direct gift from the generations of people who maintained it before us.
Which brings us to a final provocative question for you. When will you begin your own journey to the sky? I highly encourage you to make the trip and see it for yourself. And here's a tip. If you go, try to get there early in the morning, just as the sun is coming up. If you time it right, you might just witness the surrounding mountains floating like islands in a sea of clouds. It's a profound experience you truly have to see firsthand to believe. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible drive through the clouds today. Keep learning and keep exploring.